Hello, Unlimited friends. Today I am posting a response to a question that was requested on my channel, and I'm going to read the question out to you so that you know what it's all about. So the question is contributed by Amber, and she says, I have a problem. I manifest small things, not the most poignant things in my life. I've been wanting to move to a magnificent home for about 8 years. I had my first child 2 years ago. Now that I am a widowed single parent, the stakes are higher than ever. Extremely limited funds, but still believing in law of attraction. I feel as though I've put so much resistance on wanting a new home that it's never going to happen. Please tell me what to do. So before I go any further, hi, I'm ZMAHOON from ZMAHOON.com, and on this channel we discuss anything and everything that has to do with the law of attraction and creating an unlimited life. So Amber, thank you once again for your amazing question. It's not just you. A lot of people, and certainly myself, when I first started consciously trying to use the law of attraction to create what I wanted, it was easier to manifest the small stuff as opposed to the big stuff. And it is because we create the bigness of the big stuff. Let me say that again. We create the bigness of the big stuff by attaching more importance to it. When you think something is so important and it means a lot, that is an indication that you've got resistance towards it. The small stuff happens easily because we don't have resistance to it, because we consider it small stuff. That's why it happens easily. So if you were somebody who had millions, so I know where you are just now, you said extremely limited funds, but if the situation was turned around, if you were sitting on millions of dollars in your bank account, then manifesting a new house, what did you say about it? Magnificent home, wouldn't be such a big deal, right? The reason it seems like a big deal is because you're looking at the absence of the money to be able to buy that house. And that is what is pushing it away. But if you wanted to go and pick up a little tiny little toy house, you wouldn't feel resistance, and so it would flow into your life really easily, right? So it's about the importance that you attach to it. If you didn't think that this magnificent house, first of all, using the words magnificent, right? When you use a word like magnificent, that word attaches bigness to this event. And if something is that big, that means it is far away. If you think that something is really, really big and the impact that it's going to have on your life is really big, that means that you've got resistance and you've got beliefs that stand between you and this thing that you want, and because of it, it's not close up front. It's not the next logical step for you. So I hear you, but I want to point out to you, that is why Abraham says it is as easy to manifest a button as a castle. They are the same as far as the universe is concerned. There's no difference between the two. It is as easy to manifest a button as it is a castle. So you've got to stop saying these things that you're saying to yourself. That's what you need to do. Your self-talk is coming from a place of lack. And there are all these things that you're saying to yourself that are basically creating more and more resistance. And those things are, I'm a widow, I'm a single parent. So these are the labels you've assigned to yourself. I want to move to a magnificent home. The stakes are high. You see, when the stakes are high, you've given way too much importance to this thing. What you've done, my dear, is that you've attached your happiness to having of this magnificent house. You've told yourself that my measure of how successful I am in life and in using the law of attraction to create a life that I want, my dream life, I am going to keep score, and it's going to be based on my being able to manifest this house that I call magnificent. You've got to take that house and make it ordinary. When it's ordinary, it's easy to manifest. When it is magnificent and impossible and way out there, then it is hard to manifest, right? And what you've done is you've created this whole paradigm around yourself that says, I can't make this happen, and you can't, because you're not the maker of things happening. That's the universe. But you're not distinguishing between your role and the role of the universe. You are trying to get the house, but that's not your job. Your job was to dream up the house, which you did. And now your job is to stop getting in the universe's way. When you stop doing that, when you stop thinking about the house, and I mean stop thinking about the house, because every time you think about it, you activate all the beliefs that are connected to this house. So let me explain using a diagram. Hopefully this will help you to understand better. Okay, so if this is the house that you want to manifest, and then there are other houses that are, let's say, more achievable for you, you've called this one magnificent. And that is what is making it hard to manifest, because you've said this one is so big that it's hard. But this one here, this is ordinary. So this one is easy, right? And what happens is every time you talk about this house, now you've got these beliefs that are in the foundation of this house, which are stopping it from coming to you. One of those beliefs is, I'm a widow. The second belief is, I'm a single parent. Third belief is, money is limited. What else are you talking about here? It's never going to happen, so it's not possible. By saying this, it's not possible, it's never going to happen, you've already closed the door. You have to leave that door open by changing your self-talk. Instead of saying it's never going to happen, you can say things like, I don't know how it will happen. See the difference? There's a big vibrational difference between those two. So what I like doing, my dear Amber, is that I like to teach a framework, and I call it the 6 thinking choices. So the 6 thinking choices are basically really simple. You can think about any subject by going past negative or past positive, now negative or now positive, future negative or future positive. So let's take an example of each one of these in your case, because when you use this paradigm to figure out how to talk to yourself, then everything starts changing. So the things that you've already told me, you've said, I had my first child 2 years ago, which means my child is really young. What is that? Is that now negative or now positive? Well, that one is now negative. So let's chalk one up over here. Okay? So how do we take that and we convert it into a now positive? I love my child. I love my child. I love playing with my child. When you do that, now you're on this side of the equation, right? Then you've said, I'm a widowed single parent. So here, I'm all alone. I have no help. Now negative again. The stakes are higher than ever. Where's that? The stakes are higher than ever. That's actually future negative. And then you say, I feel as though I've put so much resistance on wanting a new home, it's never going to happen. What is that? That's future negative. I've already decided that the future is negative, right? So how do we turn this around? And I've been wanting a magnificent home for about 8 years. So what is that? That's past negative, right? So now all we have to do is take those negative statements and flip them to this side. How do we do that? Well, basically, you get off the subject and you look at what is positive in your life just now. So I don't know a lot about you, Amber, but it's going to be things like, it's okay where I am because things could be so much worse than they are. I'm going to speak from my point of view, and I'm going to say I have a loving family. I have friends who stand by me. I'm so appreciative of the friends that I have who are always there for me, who always show up whenever I need help. So that would be a now positive statement. So we'll chalk one up there, right? So that is, I'm not alone. That's what we're trying to say. I'm not alone. Okay? I'm a single parent. Well, it's okay because there's so many resources out there for single parents. And I've been there with you, right with you. I've been in those shoes. Single parent with an 18-month-old. Okay? So I know where you are because I've been there. And I would say there, thank God for daycare. Thank God that there's a daycare. Thank God that I can get a subsidy to bring my child to the daycare. Thank God that I have friends who can pick my child up if I'm late getting to him from work. So you change that and now you're appreciating. So again, we chalk one up for now positive, right? I can remember in the past when things that I wanted happened. So you chalk one up for past positive, right? This happened and this happened and this happened. So many good things happen in my past that I'm really appreciative about. And the future is going to open up for me because I've discovered the law of attraction and I understand more about how things work now than I ever did before. And sure, I would love to have a beautiful new house, and it will come, but the main thing that I want is to be happy. I want to be happy and I want to know that everything's okay in my world. And I know that when I trust the universe, that all of that becomes possible. So I'm going to get out of the way because really when I think about it, it's not about that specific house. It's about me being self-sufficient. It's about me saying to myself, I can do this. I can do this all on my own. So many other women do. So many other people do. And all I need is to be able to use the resources of the universe because I don't need to make this happen. The universe will bring me everything that I want because I've asked for it and for no better reason than that. The fact that I've asked for it is good enough. I don't need to prove my worthiness. And me, I alone am enough. I don't need help from anyone. I don't need anything or anyone. Because The only thing I need to do is to line up my energy with the energy of the universe, and I can do that because I know how to appreciate. I know how to be thankful. I know how to look at beautiful things in nature and appreciate them. I can look at my children and appreciate them. That's all you need to do, Amber. That is how you start getting the big stuff. And the other thing is to start accepting the fact that it does not have to happen overnight. Law of attraction is not a magic spell. And it moves really, really fast if you give up all these negative beliefs. So the speed at which law of attraction will manifest for you, the things that you want, depends on the speed with which you can let go of these beliefs and stop talking about these things. Stop talking about the fact that you're alone, because you're not alone, because the universe is always there with you. So that's a now positive. I have the resources of the universe at my disposal. That you're a single parent, that's not a disadvantage unless you make it into one, right? There are a lot of children who have both parents and still don't get any attention. There are a lot of two-parent families that don't get as much done as a single-parent family, right? There are a lot more families that are two-parent families that are not as well equipped as the single parent to look after their child. So it's not about whether or not you have another parent or not. In fact, I found being a single parent extremely good because I had no one to bargain with in making the rules. I ran my house the way I wanted to without any interference from anyone. Money. Money is limited only by our thoughts, and there are many other videos on my channel about money, so I'm not going to go into that subject right now, but that's a big one. That's a big one. Just because you're widowed doesn't mean that money is now going to be in short supply for you. Just because you're a single parent does not mean that, because money has very little to do with those things and everything to do with your vibration and your alignment. That's all you need. And then the universe will find an excuse to bring you the money that you're looking for. And then you've got to start talking about possibilities instead of talking about the impossibilities of things happening. Because if you close the door for something, then the universe cannot bring you the things that you want because you've closed the door, you've locked it, and you've lost the key. It's like that. You've got to leave all doors open because you don't know where it's going to come from. You don't have to create that house. Any number of wonderful things can happen. You can win it. It can be gifted to you. I don't know. So many different ways that it can happen. So you've just got to leave that door open, and you've got to leave timing out of the equation. Because the more we look at time and we say, oh, it's already 6 months or a year and I'm still not there, then that creates a vibration of lack. And when you have a vibration of lack going on, that just pushes things further away. So, my dear, I hope that that was useful, and I hope that you'll be able to put some of these things to use for yourself. The one thing I want you to remember is that every time one of these things comes up, so these are the things that you need to do. Every time you find yourself thinking about or talking about any of these negative beliefs, you need to stop and you need to tell yourself, not going there, because I know better. I know that my focusing on these things, thinking about them, talking about them, feeling them, is what keeps things from getting better for me. And lastly, I want you to remember this framework of the 6 thinking choices, there is another video, maybe even 2, on my YouTube channel that will give you more information about how to use the 6 thinking choices. But it's basically about becoming conscious of which way you're thinking. When something comes through your head, or if you're going to speak it, stop just for 2 seconds and ask yourself, where am I going? Is it past positive? Is it now positive? And is it future positive? And if it does not fit into these 3 squares, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to leave it alone. I am going to find something else to say instead of that. And when you start doing that, when you get more and more practice with it, what's going to happen is your habit of thinking, the way you think habitually on a day-to-day basis, is going to shift. And when you accomplish that shift, things are going to become much easier for you. And don't forget, you have a lot of help. You have me for sure, and I am here to help you with all the guidance that I can provide you. But you have more help than that, because you've got the universe on your side. And so what I want you to comment below is, I've got the universe on my side. I've got the universe on my side, and that's all I need. I've got the universe on my side, and everything that I want is possible. Okay, I hope that that was useful, and I hope that you will come back and share with me how you've been able to put these strategies to use in your life, and come back and share with us how your life gets better as a result. Take care, my dear, and see you all next time. Bye for now.